Are you and your partner always, quote, too busy to spend quality time together? Well, today we are tackling the myth of having no time, and we're giving you actionable strategies to make time for each other. Because let's face it, Netflix can wait, but your relationship shouldn't have to. Welcome back to the Strength of Seduction podcast, the number one resource for Black couples who want to build intimacy, love, and connection in their relationship. I'm your host, Daniel DiPiazza. And if you're new here and you're just watching this for the first time on YouTube, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for updates. And of course, if you're listening to this on your favorite podcast platform, for instance, Apple or Spotify, make sure to subscribe and to leave a review. Guys, every single review counts, and we really appreciate you. Now, let's get into today's topic. It is a hot one, and before we dive in, let's get one thing straight. Time is the currency of your relationship, and you can't invest in each other if you're not willing to invest your time. So today, we are going to break down some of the actionable ways to make time for each other, even in the busiest of schedules. Because if Beyonce has the same 24 hours just in a day as us, we can surely find a few minutes for love. Right? Now, first, let's tackle the myth of having no time. And we want to debunk this myth because it's certainly not true. This idea that we don't have time for each other. And I'll give some background to this, because we often say that we're too busy, but what we're really saying is that something else is a priority. And I know that sounds harsh. It's a harsh truth, but it's better to face it head on. So the first thing you can do is to make a priority list. This is an exercise. Sit down with your partner and just list out your daily activities and then rank them by priority. And you'll quickly see that where your relationship stands might not be where you want it to be. And you can then actively, intentionally carve out more time for each other. And we really should think about the difference between time and quality time. It's not just about the quantity of time you're spending, it's about the quality. A focused 15-minute conversation can be more meaningful than an entire day spent together in silence. Now let's discuss the idea of scheduling your love. And I know this sounds a little weird, right? You did hear that right though, scheduling your love. If you schedule meetings, if you schedule workouts, and even your favorite TV shows, why not schedule time for love, for connection, for intimacy? You can even make a love calendar. I know this sounds nuts to some people, but we can create a shared calendar where you can both schedule date nights or conversations or even having intimate moments and treat these appointments with the same respect that you would give a business meeting or a doctor's meeting, because it is business and it is healing, isn't it? It's the same importance. And you have spontaneity within your structure, because when you're scheduling, it might sound rigid at first, but it actually allows for spontaneity because you know that you have time set aside for each other and you're more likely to make the most out of it. Someone once said discipline equals freedom, and I fully believe that. Now let's talk about the concept of the micro date, okay? And micro dates are small but meaningful interactions that can fit into any schedule. Now, here's the thing. Not every date needs to be some grand gesture, okay? Sometimes the smallest moments hold the most weight. I know this is the truth for me, and here are some examples of micro dates. You could take a 10-minute coffee break together in the morning, or you could go for a quick walk around the block, or even a short phone call during your lunch break. Just a time to set aside everything that's happening and connect intentionally and make these micro dates count. The key is to be fully present during this moment. Put away your phones, turn off the computer, solely focus on each other, even if it's just for a few minutes. You want to really develop this skill of intentionally being with each other. Now let's talk about the importance of rituals. Rituals are the backbone of any relationship. They give us something to look forward to and to make ordinary moments extraordinary. And rituals are different than routines. They're not even close to the same thing, because routines are what you have to do. Rituals are things that you get to do, okay? We get to be with our partner. We don't have to be with them. And so here are some examples of relationship rituals. This could be a weekly movie night, a monthly State of the Union conversation to talk about the relationship, or even a yearly, I'd say quarterly getaway. The key, though, is consistency. So create your own rituals. Sit down with your partner and brainstorm rituals that are meaningful to both of you, and then make a commitment to stick to them, because the whole idea around rituals is that they are consistent. Now, finally, let's talk about the time bank idea, because this is something that I think most people don't talk about, but it's really beneficial if you flip the way you think about your relationship. This is a unique way to ensure that you're investing in the relationship. So think of your relationship as a bank account, and the more quality time that you deposit, the richer your emotional connection becomes. Most people never think of their relationship like this, but it's really simple to create a time bank. Set a weekly goal for each other. It's a time goal for being with each other. It could be as simple as 2 hours of undivided time per week, and find ways to deposit into your time bank throughout the week. And then check in on the balance of that time bank. At the end of your week, review that balance to see if you actually met your goal. And if you haven't, make it a priority. Remember, we talked about priorities, to reach it the following week. And these are all ways that you can make time for your partner, even in a busy world. So if you love today's content, make sure you like and subscribe on YouTube as well as on your favorite podcast platform for our weekly tips to make your relationships happier, to make them healthier, and to make them more intimate. Of course, all the links are below in the video description or in the podcast notes if you're listening to this. And if you haven't already, make sure you join our free newsletter at www.strengthofseduction.com, and you follow us on Instagram for more. Well, that's it for today. I'm Daniel DiPiazza, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.